I think this has been a truly extraordinary experience for me personally because it's completely different from what I'm used to, what I'm accustomed to doing. And I've always considered myself at least a very worldly sort of person. And this has been a really enlightening experience for me. And it's given me a lot of insight into maybe I want to expand my career or expand my scope of knowledge when I get to higher education and that sort of stuff.
I learned that we all strive to be perfect in everything we do. But in actuality, it wouldn't be too perfect because we had limited resources. Like I thought my audio was bad, and then I was told, it's really not that bad. So I learned that what I think is terrible, people might think is good. So I learned that we try to be perfect, but it's really not that realistic.
Being a part of this project, I got an opportunity to learn a lot about other people's situations at their school, and to meet a lot of people that otherwise I wouldn't have gotten a chance to.
Pros, I got to meet new people, I got to learn new things about what they do, their lives. The only con was it was hard to meet them, see them places. It wasn't like I could just call them and say, let's go down to this place, because like I had one person in my group from EF, another person from Wilkinsburg, so the areas weren't exactly easy to meet up. We actually had to plan them.
I really like that, working with the team, with different people, because I got to meet them, and that's like what college is about, getting to meet new people and getting out of your set comfort zone. So I really like that. I mean, it probably would be beneficial to stay with people in your school, because each person would get their different opinion out about their school, but working with different people really helps.
A lot of what we do in school is usually like, oh, we're writing a report, we're writing a story or something. This was more interactive for me, like actually getting feedback from real people who have real experiences instead of like reading something from a book or learning something and memorizing it.
Well, I usually just watch the news, but I really wouldn't pay attention too much. But now once all the budget cuts started happening, I started to pay a little bit more attention, and so now I'm learning more about what's going on in the world, actually paying more attention and grabbing the newspaper, not just reading the sports section, reading the front page too.
Well, what I learned from this project is that there's a lot of people like me that had a lot of the same problems, and I didn't realize that, because me catching buses and everything, it's like really hard in case catch your bus, wake up on time, and since I go to school outside my neighborhood, it's kind of me what I wanted to do, so kind of hard. But what I learned from this is that a lot of people have different perspectives of what the government is doing with the bus cuts and everything. Buses going to schools, and you're going to school and the classes that you want is getting cut. So I think a lot of people disagree with that rather than agree. Mm-hmm. The ones whose job it is not getting affected by it, of course they're not going to mind, because so that's one of the things I learned.
Well, I learned that it is important to always get people to commit to something like a time and make sure you're prompt before they are, because our principal, when we went to get an interview from him, he was actually on his way to a meeting, and he actually committed himself to us. So he actually took 5 minutes out of his time and gave us the interview and made sure that we had the content that we needed for our video. And so I was very appreciative for that, and I learned more that you have to always try to collaborate as a team to do. It's a team effort. It's not an individual effort. I know for me, Seth and Chase, or more so Seth, but somewhat Chase, they were very supportful in what I was trying to do, with my ideas and things. And I learned it's always good to also outreach and collaborate with other teams, because I collaborated with all the teams this time to help them put their videos together and everything. And it was really nice to see how a lot of people see things different ways and things like that.
Mm-hmm. One thing was in school, you're with the same people you're friends with, and usually if there's a group of 3, one person is the leader, and whatever that person thinks, whether it's me or anyone else, that's how the project turns out. Mm-hmm. So everyone else just collaborates, and that's what it turns out in the finished project is one person's idea. Mm-hmm. And this one, it was 3 strong individuals who all wanted different things, and we're talking about different things. So I really got a taste of collaborating and negotiating to work together, because in the real world, you're not working with the same 3 people who are just going to listen to your ideas that you went to school with for 10 years.
I learned a lot about how the budget cuts were affecting, because I personally didn't know anything about it. But I learned that it was taking, teachers was going to lose their jobs, and I didn't know it was going all the way like to raising college rates and stuff like that. I learned that too. For people that was going into college, it was raising those rates.
I think it definitely called for my creativity to be used. Like, I feel like this was more, like I said before, it was more interactive and whatnot, but it really asked for me to take a real look into what my own beliefs were, what everyone else's beliefs were, and really put those ideas together like everything. It wasn't sort of coming from one place. It was sort of like a lot of different emotions and perspectives coming together like a gathering to try and figure out this idea, this really enormous kind of notion.